Imagine a life where every single day you command respect without saying a word, where your presence alone sparks curiosity and your absence creates longing. Think for a moment about the possibility of becoming the man who occupies her thoughts when you're not there. The man she can't help but miss. That power isn't a secret reserved for a select few. It is a living truth available to anyone who chooses it. It is a path that you, right now, already have the power to step onto. Understand this. Making her miss you is never about manipulation or mind games. It's not about pretending to be busy or playing hard to get. No, real attraction is far more profound than that. It is about authenticity, about presence, about becoming a man of such undeniable value that your absence is felt deeply. It is the daily decision to cultivate a life so compelling that others naturally want to be part of it. Think of your interactions as a dance. Every step you take, every word you speak, every moment you share, these are the notes of that dance. And with every encounter, you have the chance to leave a lasting impression. The music has always been in your hands. The question is, what kind of melody will you choose to create? So lean in close now. Let your heart open and your mind sharpen. Because what I'm about to share with you has the power to alter the entire dynamic of your relationships. The words you hear today may plant seeds that grow into forests of connection tomorrow. They may set in motion a magnetism that draws people to you in ways you once thought impossible. I am going to reveal to you 6 essential principles that you must embody to make any woman miss you. 6 disciplines, 6 practices, 6 choices that will elevate you from forgettable to unforgettable. If you take them seriously, if you apply them with integrity, you will unlock hidden reserves of charisma. You will discover a presence you didn't know you had. And the very first, the foundation upon which all others stand, is the power of your purpose. Your life is not simply a series of events. It is a mission, a calling that demands your fullest expression. Whatever you pour your energy into will grow. If you pour your energy into seeking validation, neediness will take over. If you pour your energy into meaningful pursuits, you will harvest confidence, passion, and a magnetism beyond measure. So I ask you now, where are you directing your energy? Are you allowing the quiet voice of insecurity to root itself, whispering that you need her to complete you? Or are you deliberately channeling your focus into your goals, reminding yourself that you are whole, capable, and destined for greatness? Every day you must take responsibility for the direction of your life. You must challenge the distractions when they creep in. When the thought says, I need her attention, you must replace it with, how can I improve myself? When the whisper says, what if she forgets me? You must answer with, what if I become so remarkable that she can't? This is not about playing games. It is about the practice of honing the most attractive force you will ever possess, your own sense of purpose. Your mission can be your greatest ally, drawing people toward you like a magnet, or it can become your greatest enemy, leaving you stagnant and easily forgotten. The choice belongs to you. Will you let your need for approval chain you to mediocrity, or will you fuel your purpose to propel you into a life of abundance? I once worked with a young man. He came to me lost, weighed down by his desperation for a woman's affection. He believed he was destined to be overlooked, trapped in a cycle of rejection. But day by day, we began to redirect his focus. We replaced the pursuit of her with the pursuit of excellence. We replaced does she like me with do I like who I am becoming? We replaced I need her to notice me with I am becoming impossible to ignore. And within a few months, that same young man transformed. He started a new career. He began attracting opportunities and people in ways he once thought impossible. Not because he learned to manipulate, but because he became a man of substance. That is the power of living with purpose daily. It does not require grand, dramatic gestures. It requires small, steady, consistent shifts in where you place your attention. Each day is another chance to choose self-respect over seeking validation. Each day is an opportunity to strengthen the core of who you are. Your influence will be built first in your own life before it is felt in the lives of others. Choose wisely what you cultivate, because the harvest is inevitable. In this fast-paced world, one truth remains unshaken. If you are not grounded in your purpose, you will be swayed by every passing whim. If you are not rooted in your values, you will be easily overlooked. That is why the second pillar of making her miss you must be your presence. Think of your presence as the atmosphere you carry with you. Some people enter a room and it feels lighter. Others leave and the room feels emptier. Which do you want to be? The man whose presence is a gift or the man whose absence goes unnoticed? Understand this. I am not suggesting that you become someone you're not. You do not need to be the loudest or the most outgoing. What you need is authenticity, the courage to be fully yourself, the confidence to be comfortable in your own skin, the clarity to know your worth isn't determined by anyone else's approval. Perhaps for you, it is deep listening, the ability to make someone feel truly heard. Perhaps it is calm confidence, the power to hold space without needing to fill it. Perhaps it is playful energy, the skill to bring joy and lightness into the moment. Or maybe it is something more introspective, wisdom, depth, sincerity. The exact expression is unique to you, but the principle is universal. If you want to be missed, you must be fully present when you are there. And here is the beauty of it. You don't need to be on all the time. Even 15 minutes of undivided attention can leave a lasting impact. That is the secret of presence. Not a constant performance, but the quality of your engagement when it matters. Connection is never an accident. It is the natural result of genuine, mindful interaction. I once mentored a man who struggled with conversations. He had humor, he had intelligence, he had good intentions. But his interactions felt shallow, not because he was uninteresting, but because his mind was elsewhere. He was either rehearsing what to say next or worrying about how he was being perceived. Instead of accepting this fate, he made a decision. Every day, he would practice being fully present. He started with 5-minute conversations where his only goal was to listen. He learned to quiet his inner dialogue and truly see the person in front of him. Sometimes he failed, sometimes he drifted, but he never stopped practicing. And in less than a year, his relationships transformed. He became known not as a nice guy or a funny guy, but as a man who made people feel understood. He evolved from someone seeking connection into someone who created it effortlessly. This is the power of presence. It is like an echo. The quality of your presence determines what reverberates in your absence. Without presence, your interactions are forgettable. With presence, the memory of you lingers long after you're gone. How many moments have you left unfulfilled simply because you were not truly there? Every great connection in history can be traced back to presence. The leader who inspired millions mastered the art of being fully with people. The lover who captured hearts mastered the skill of making one person feel like the only person in the world. None of them were born with this mastery. They forged it through consistent practice, deliberate effort, and a refusal to be distracted. So commit today. Choose to be present in your interactions, then give them your full attention. Moment by moment, conversation by conversation, glance by glance, you will build connection. And that connection will carry you to levels of attraction that words alone can never achieve. Remember this truth. Pursuit without presence is noise, but pursuit combined with presence is unforgettable. The third force you must cultivate to make her miss you is your mystery. Because no matter how charming you are, no matter how confident you become, predictability is the enemy of desire. Your mystery is the space between who you are and who she perceives you to be. It is the invitation for her to wonder, to explore, to invest. Think of your life as a great book. Your purpose is the plot. Your presence is the prose. But your mystery is the suspense that keeps her turning the pages. Without intrigue, even the most beautiful story becomes boring. Every day you have a choice. You can choose to reveal everything about yourself, your fears, your schedule, your constant availability, or you can choose to maintain an air of depth, to hold back just enough to spark curiosity, to let your actions speak louder than your words. And just like a story spoiled, a man with no mystery is easily set aside. Understand this. Attraction is not built on information. It is built on imagination. When she knows everything about you, her mind has no work to do. When you leave room for discovery, her mind will fill that space with fascination. She will miss you because you are a puzzle she has not yet solved, a story she has not yet finished. I once spoke with a man who had mastered this art. He was not the most handsome man in the room, nor the wealthiest. Yet he had a quality that drew people in. When asked about his weekend, he might share one interesting thing he did instead of a minute-by-minute breakdown. He had passions and projects he spoke about with excitement but didn't over-explain. He was comfortable with silence, never feeling the need to fill it with unnecessary words. His relationships were deep, and his partners always spoke of him with a sense of awe. In a world of oversharing, his subtlety became his strength. So I tell you this, value your privacy. Not in a secretive way, but in a selective way. Share yourself gradually, like a gift unwrapped layer by layer. Be honest, but don't be an open book from page 1. Leave her wanting to know more. And do not forget this. The quality of your mystery is not measured by how much you hide, but by how much you reveal at the right time. 1,000 details dumped at once cannot equal the power of one secret shared at the perfect moment. Mystery also requires confidence. The confidence to be comfortable with not being fully known immediately. The courage to trust that who you are is interesting enough to warrant investigation. Because neediness builds transparency, but confidence builds allure. And every layer you reveal over time makes your story richer, more engaging, and more memorable. So each day, seek to cultivate your mystery. Be a little more selective with what you share. Be a little more comfortable with silence. Be a little more focused on living an interesting life rather than explaining it. And in return, watch how her curiosity grows. Watch how her investment deepens. Watch how your absence becomes something she actively notices. Because when your life is intriguing, your presence is desired. Remember this eternal truth. Familiarity may build comfort, but mystery builds desire. The fourth pillar to make her miss you is your independence. Because time is the one resource you can never get back, and how you spend it tells her everything she needs to know about your priorities. Independence is not about ignoring her. It is about honoring yourself. It is the clear declaration that your happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from her validation. Think of your time as your kingdom. You are the king. If you leave your gates open for anyone to enter and leave as they please, your kingdom loses its value. If you guard your time, investing it in your pursuits, your kingdom becomes a place of value others aspire to be part of. Each day, you must ask yourself, am I spending my time on what truly matters to me? Not on chasing her, not on waiting for her messages, but on the real actions that build a life of meaning. If you win your own respect first, you win her respect in time. I once met a man who was talented, kind, and genuinely caring. But he was always available. He would cancel plans with friends if she hinted at wanting to see him. He would drop his projects to answer her calls. He thought devotion was the key to her heart. But slowly, her interest faded. His availability became expected, then boring. Together, we reframed his independence. We focused on non-negotiable blocks of time for his own goals. He started saying no to last-minute requests that disrupted his rhythm. He communicated his plans with confidence instead of apology. And slowly, her perception of him shifted. His time became valuable because he treated it as valuable. His independence didn't push her away. It made his attention a reward. Because devotion without self-respect is invisible, but devotion backed by independence is irresistible. Understand this. Your dreams are built not in moments spent waiting for her, but in moments spent building yourself. Brick by brick, skill by skill, passion by passion. Even the tallest tower of self-worth is built by one independent choice at a time. But beware. The greatest enemies of independence are neediness and approval-seeking. Neediness steals your focus. Approval-seeking steals your time. Together, they steal your identity. That is why self-respect must guard your independence, just as a soldier guards the castle. You must guard your priorities, your time, your energy. And let me remind you, independence is not just about your career or hobbies. It is about life. It is about being independent in your happiness, independent in your decisions, independent in your growth. Because every day, you are either building your legacy or building someone else's. So take control of your time. Master your schedule, guard your passions. Because when you master independence, you master your value. And when you master your value, you become a man who is not easily forgotten. The fifth force you must embody to make her miss you is your emotional balance, because your emotional state is the weather of your interactions. A man who is reactive, jealous, or insecure creates storms that others want to escape. A man who is calm, centered, and emotionally sturdy provides a climate of safety and peace that others crave to return to. Understand this truth: you do not control her actions. You control your reactions. If you want to predict how she will feel about you, do not look at her behavior. Look at your emotional response to it, for they are the true forecast of your connection. A single emotional overreaction may feel justified in the moment, but repeated, it becomes a pattern of instability that pushes people away. Emotional neediness is like a leak in your ship. At first, it seems manageable, but slowly, drop by drop, it pulls you under. And emotional balance is like a steady rudder. It may not be visible on the surface, but it guides you through the roughest waters, keeping you on course. I once spoke with a man who struggled with jealousy. He would become anxious if she didn't reply quickly. He would read into every word, every emoji, every social media post. He wanted success in love, but his emotions betrayed him. It wasn't her actions that failed him. It was his reactions. Together, we built new emotional habits, small ones at first, pausing before responding, reframing assumptions, focusing on his own activities. And though they seemed simple, they became the roots of transformation. Within months, his relationships felt lighter. He became known not for his jealousy, but for his trust. Not for his anxiety, but for his peace. He evolved from a man who sought reassurance into a man who provided stability. Emotional balance is not about suppressing feelings. It is about mastering them. Uncontrolled emotions enslave. Mastered emotions liberate. When you respond with purpose instead of reacting with fear, you free yourself from drama, from conflict, from regret. Think of a lighthouse in a storm. It does not control the waves. It remains steady, providing guidance and safety. Your emotional balance is that lighthouse. When you remain calm amidst chaos, you become her safe harbor. And everyone misses the safe harbor when the storms of life arise. And never forget this: you already have emotional patterns, whether you are aware of them or not. Every reaction, every response, every tone you use is shaping her experience of you. The question is not whether you have emotions, but whether your emotions are governing you or you are governing them. So today, examine them. Replace one reactive habit with a responsive one. Replace jealousy with trust. Replace anxiety with action, neediness with self-assurance, and then repeat every day, consistently. Because in the end, trust is not built in one grand declaration. It is built in small, consistent demonstrations of emotional strength. And those demonstrations create security, and that security creates a bond that distance cannot break. So choose wisely. Build emotional habits that serve your future. For the chains of emotional neediness are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. The sixth and final force you must cultivate to make her miss you is your authenticity. For authenticity is the ultimate magnet. Without it, everything you do feels like a performance. With it, everything you do feels like a truth. It is about aligning your actions with your values, your words with your heart, your presence with your purpose. Understand this. Authenticity is not about being perfect. It is about being real. It is about embracing your flaws, your passions, your quirks, and owning them without apology. So many men try to become what they think she wants, and when they reach her, they feel empty. Because victory without integrity is a hollow victory. You can have her attention, but without authenticity, you will still feel unseen. You can have her company, but without authenticity, you will still feel alone. I once spoke with a woman who had dated many men. Yet, she rarely felt a deep connection. When asked why, she said, "I never felt like I met the real them. I met who they thought I wanted." And in that moment, the truth became clear. People don't miss a mask, they miss a soul. Authenticity transforms. It turns interactions into connections. It turns moments into memories. It does not erase imperfection, but it makes imperfection relatable. It does not remove vulnerability, but it makes vulnerability magnetic. Think of your personality as a fingerprint. Without authenticity, you are a copy of a copy, faded and forgettable. With authenticity, you are one of a kind, unique and unforgettable. And authenticity is not only a feeling, it is a practice. It is built in small choices, choosing honesty over approval, expressing your true opinion with respect, pursuing your weird hobbies with passion, admitting when you don't know something. When you live with authenticity, you give her permission to do the same. You create a space where real connection can grow. You attract not just her interest, but her respect. Because what is real resonates. And remember, authenticity is not just for the easy moments. It is also for the difficult ones. For even disagreement can build respect. Even vulnerability can build trust. Even imperfection can build intimacy. If you can be authentically you, even in uncertainty, then you will be impossible to replace. So I ask you now, will you show up as a polished version of what you think she wants? Or will you show up as unapologetically you? Will you hide your passions to fit in? Or will you embrace your weirdness to stand out? Because when you live with authenticity, every interaction becomes a gift, every connection becomes a blessing, and your presence becomes a memory that lingers long after you're gone. And now we arrive at the end. But this is not the end of the message. It is the beginning of your transformation. For everything we have spoken about, everything you have heard today, is not just meant to inspire you, it is meant to ignite you. Purpose, presence, mystery, independence, emotional balance, and authenticity. These are not just words. They are the pillars, the foundation, the unshakable structure upon which lasting attraction is built. If you embody them daily, if you commit to them with all your heart, then being missed is no longer a question. It is only a matter of time. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for the right person. Do not wait for someone else to give you permission. The time is now. The power is already within you. Every single day, you are given 24 golden hours, and how you use them determines everything. You must understand, being unforgettable is not built in one grand gesture, but in steady consistency lived with integrity. It is built in the morning choices you make, the small interactions you elevate, the consistent character you demonstrate. And let me tell you this, if you follow these principles daily, you will become stronger. You will become more centered. You will become more magnetic. You will discover a version of yourself that you never knew existed. A version that is compelling, genuine, irreplaceable. People around you will notice. They will ask how you changed. They will wonder what your secret is. And you will know the truth. It was no secret. It was no shortcut. It was integrity. It was consistency. It was you choosing every day to become just a little more yourself than the day before. And one day, when you look back, you will see how far you have come. You will see the confidence you've built, the connections you've deepened, the impact you've made, and you will smile, knowing it all began with a choice. The choice to be unapologetically you. So I say this to you now, do not just listen, live it. Do not just be inspired, be it. Do not just dream, do it. Because being missed is not waiting for you out there, it is waiting within you. And when you commit to these daily practices, being missed is not just possible, it is inevitable. This is your time, this is your moment. Take it, live it, become it, and never look back. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button now and don't miss the upcoming videos full of inspiration and tips.